What is up, guys? So, I told you guys that I was gonna check out, Jeremy John's spoiler talk on Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and here we are. Make sure you guys go check out Mr. Jeremy Johns on his YouTube page and tell him that Mr. Greatness over here has sent it to you, or you were sent from Mr. Greatness. You know, he puts a lot of thoughts, and he has really interesting perspective on certain movies and stuff. Like, for instance, like I didn't know that Sam Raimi was the guy that directed those old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. I did not know that. Which, like I said before, I can see why he wants to do the Spider-Man 4. I can see that. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, I think there's still a lot more story left as far as like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens, but until then, let's check out Jeremy Jones and see what he has to say, or what he liked about it, and what he didn't like.
Alright guys, there's a lot I want to talk about in this video, a lot you want to hear about in this video. I'm going to get right to it, right to thinking. The sponsor of this video is brought to you by NordVPN. NordVPN is a VPN service with a cornucopia of features. Features of convenience, like letting you change your virtual location with one click, ensuring that you never miss your favorite content, even if you're overseas. But also NordVPN has solid features of protection. Nord's threat protection feature blocks malware, scans downloaded files for viruses. It acts like a shield between you and the potential hazards of the digital minefield / wonderland that is the internet. And this is all risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Even my barking dogs love it. So click the link below, go to nordvpn.com/Johns. Get yourself a 2-year plan with a huge discount
that could
plus
be a
one
pain in the ass
additional month
sometimes.
for free. And thank you once again to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. I do appreciate it. And now I talk about what you want to hear about, which is heated religious debate. Now this is spoiler talk for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but to be fair,
Heated religious
if you had
debate.
one room full of Mormons and Catholics,
Because it's all horror and everything.
which room do you think would have
Blood
the more
and gore.
heated debates that end in ire? Exactly, and of course, me being me, I'm going to go head first right into that room, and this is my Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness spoiler talk. This isn't a play-by-play, I'm not going to talk about every little scene in the movie, just some things that stood out to me, things I couldn't talk about in my spoiler-free review. But alright, in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, it starts out, there's Doctor Strange, who looks different than Doctor Strange, but it's Doctor Strange, so you're like, oh, alternate universe Doctor Strange. He's running with this girl, America Chavez. I'll always think of that, I'll always make that joke. I saw someone in the comment section of my spoiler-free review for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I apologize to this person, I'm going to paraphrase what you said. This is something along the lines of, this movie was shit, and you have lost your touch, Jeremy. I was just like, talking about that Team America reference was awesome. So anyhow, that Strange dies, which right there you're like, oh, so that's where the zombie Strange comes from. But he dies, and then she rips through the
zombie Strange, and I said it was like a dead body.
I told you this.
Yeah, the zombie Strange.
This is the moment I'm going to find out one of two.
I think I mentioned somewhere on the movie review I was talking about, or a spoiler
or she doesn't even have that power.
That I said something about like it was like
kind of like how Kitty Pryde
a dead body
back in time.
The other Strange's dead body, something like that.
Anyhow,
I could have just said zombie.
World, or at the very least, the Avengers
it is what it is.
Not to say it's actually ours. There are no Avengers in our world. And before I get to the rest of it, there was actually a really cool scene. It's the only time I've seen this addressed, and I thought it was awesome, and I'm kind of sad that I feel like it's the last time we'll ever see it addressed. And that's when Strange is at his... I'm going to call her Rachel McAdams. He's at Rachel McAdams' character's wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Sackler sits down next to him.
Yeah.
He's pretty much like, yeah, I was dust too, and I lost my cats, and I lost my brother. Tell me, was there any other way? And Strange looks kind of awkward. He's like, no, it's the only play we had. Which I think is great. This is a really compelling thing for me. Because you can tell Strange is like, no one out there will ever understand that I saw millions of other realities, and that was the only one where we won. It's the burden of knowledge compared to the I would call it short-sightedness, but really it's just human nature. Who wouldn't be pissed at it? It's easy to hear, yeah, it's the only play we had, but it's like, yeah, but I lost people. I never got to say goodbye to them because I was dust. That was a really cool moment. Again, I feel like it's just never going to go anywhere.
When Thanos snapped the finger and wipe off half the universe.
Like, how did they know that he gave the stone to Thanos? Did Tony Stark blab? I could see that happening. Tony Stark gets back, goes on Twitter, all like, yeah, we had Thanos in the fight, and then the circus magician gave the green rock to the grape of wrath.
Someone had Wi-Fi in the ship, and he tweeted out like, yep, He did it, folks. Thanos had wiped out half the universe if you're still alive.
Turns out help out ain't the word. It's a very short reveal where she's like, oh, by the way, yeah, this wonderful utopia of sheep, apple trees, it all turns to death. She's like, I have my cursed book of evil. I was like, horror tones and an evil book. Sam Raimi has entered the MCU, my friend. You know the funny thing is when America.
I hope he does more MCU, you know, like, related. I hope he does more of the Doctor Strange movies.
He almost gets hit by a car because in this alternate universe, red means go, green means stop. And I was like, you took that from Sliders. I believe that was the pilot episode of Sliders. And then Doctor Strange is like, well, Wanda's out there doing really messed up shit. Maybe I'll have Bruce Campbell punch himself for 2 weeks. I mean, of course, there's going to be a Bruce Campbell cameo. Great to see it. Because America, fuck yeah, just jacked a pizza ball and didn't pay for it. Instead of talking this guy off the ledge like Aladdin did, he was like, I'll just have you punch yourself for 2 weeks. The guy was just pissed off that someone robbed him. You know a thing that did disappoint me in this movie, which I was going to address in my spoiler-free review, but I was like, well, if I talk about how Mordo didn't do much and I was disappointed in that, Mordo's not really a villain. Process of elimination could whittle people down to like, oh, hey, maybe Wanda's the villain. I mean, more than that bullshit TV spot did. What the hell? What's up with that? Why did they do that? Yeah, I was disappointed with Mordo in this movie for a couple reasons. One, because, yeah, he didn't do much. I was pumped to see Mordo back, and, you know, it left off. It was the end of Doctor Strange. The first one was a post-credit scene, where he's like, oh, I'm going to kill wizards now. Apparently, Doctor Strange says, oh, Mordo did that.
To me, it didn't bother me whether Mordo had like a longer role or not. You know what I thought, to tell you the truth? I thought that he would have turned good again and somehow helped Doctor Strange out. You know
so this Mordo really has no build-up.
Everything
that happened in the first Doctor Strange, unlinked to this guy. Then there's the Illuminati. We're starting to get into realms where this is where the movie disappointed people. From the chatter I've seen in the comments section, it's the Illuminati was wasted and Wanda for a couple reasons.
Wasted is not even a word. It was slaughtered.
I won't lie. Don't know much about them in the comic books.
Completely
Illuminati, other than the general concept.
Completely destroyed.
Life, the theory, or is it a theory? And what I saw in Angels and Demons, and that's it. Court of Owls counts as the Illuminati. So I'll throw that in there. Like Gotham Illuminati, it counts. And they should totally do that in the Batman too. That would be pretty awesome. But as for the Illuminati, I was like, kill him, kill him, kill her, kill her. Oh, Richard. I mean, that was cool, though. You can't escape the internet. And as much as I try to minimize internet spoilers, there's always a video out there where it's like, oh, rumors John Krasinski's
I hate that, man. I haven't seen that a couple lately ever since the premiere had came out. That should be pissing me off, man.
That said, I think you make a
YouTube should get a hold of those, man.
Charles Xavier.
Instead of bugging about us, they should be bugging those clowns that try to spoil everybody of the movies, you know? It's not fair.
I will! You're ready for command! So he comes out, but man, he comes out in the wheelchair, you know? Like the floaty yellow wheelchair. The Danny Elfman score starts going, dun, 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 dun. I was like, alright, man.
It's like if you put the shoe on the other foot, you spoil
I feel like that's the Disney
movie that person wanted to see.
Like Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer.
Like,
put
that's
that
not right.
in there. That'll just
come
hit
on,
him right in the
man.
feels. Give me that duel of the
hey,
fates.
people don't care. It is what it is. They're gonna do what they can.
That's my.
I just try to block it out.
That's my fake person. There's no one there. But again, with that TV spot, fuck you, TV spot. What are you doing? So Scarlet Witch dreamwalks into this universe and just tears everyone to shit. What that dreamwalking, what that is
slaughter. The key word is slaughter. She slaughtered them.
In that other universe, and now
there was no stopping the Scarlet Witch at all.
Universe is about physically going into that universe. And man, she fucks him. Yes.
Yes, she
Dude,
did.
I didn't care. Like,
to me, that was the best one.
This Illuminati that everyone really cares a lot about. I'm sorry for you folks who do, but they're all gonna die, and I'm pretty happy because I just want to see blood.
Yeah.
Though Reed Richards was a dumbass in that moment, I'm telling you, some sloppy script shit in this movie. Reed Richards is like, alright, Wanda, we get it, you're in pain, I have kids, I understand. Tuning fork head man over here can wipe you out with one noise from his mouth, just in case you were wondering how to take him down. Or stop that from happening. And she's like, what mouth? And then it just zooms out, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, she just did the Matrix, she did the Neo, man.
Yeah.
His mouth is gone, he's all, I was like,
popped on its head.
Everyone ate shit, man. Like, she took.
I totally forgot about
Captain
that.
America,
I forgot to mention that she did that too.
Captain
That
Carter
guy.
sliced her in half. Reed Richards just kind of got unwoven like spaghetti. Kind of reminded me of what Thanos could do to people. Where he's just like, "Oh, sorry, Drax, you're little sponge squares now." But at least when Thanos left, he's like, "All right."
He brought it back.
Humpty Dumpty yourself back again.
Yeah.
Wanda's like, "Hey, sorry, Ready Set Spaghetti, you're dead." Remember that game? I do. Are you picking up the keyboard right now to type "Jeremy grew up with Ready Set Spaghetti"? What the fuck? I did. I did. That's the thing that, you know, some people are pissed about. Like, what, they just introduced Reed Richards and killed him? But, like, you know, that's just one universe of Reed Richards. There's another one out there. I mean, if they just canonically roll with it, like, nope, in the Fantastic Four movie, Reed Richards is dead because he died in this movie. I'll be like, you are not utilizing that multiverse concept properly. I just like that scene. I do see cracks happening in the MCU storytelling when it comes to the multiverse. Because story was, in the show Loki, in the series Loki, it was like multiverse can't happen. But because of the events of Loki, because Sylvie killed Kang, well, he wasn't really Kang, he was cool Kang, he was a crazy uncle at the parties.
I didn't see Loki, I didn't care for it.
Because of the events
I think I watched like a couple of episodes and I didn't finish watching it. I didn't like it at all.
Already existed.
Never
also,
was.
dreams, you know, it's just like dreams are
It
illustrated
really caught
in
my
this movie
attention.
as windows into other universes. So when you dream, what you're seeing in your dream is a you in another universe. I think that's a really cool concept. It's one of those concepts I feel like.
And I like Loki as a
most
character.
all of
It's
us
just
have
the
all
way how they
thought
told the
about it
story.
at least once, twice.
They didn't really care. They didn't really need to see it.
But unless dreams never existed in the MCU up until the point, I mean, if dreams always existed in the MCU, then the events of Loki are kind of useless. And again, if the events of Loki, you know, it took place outside of linear time. It's not like, oh, it just happened and now those universes exist. But because it was outside of time, it just kind of makes it irrelevant. If you took the show Loki out of canon, just canonically wiped it from existence, I feel like Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness would still make sense. Anyhow. That's how I'm seeing it. Oh, Professor X dies, which I thought was a great horror movie moment, you know? Professor X goes into Wanda's mind.
He almost had her too. Almost.
Wanda is like under rocks. And he's like, Wanda, I'm trying to help you. There's an evil Scarlet Witch here. Give me your hand. And the Scarlet Fox.
Hey man, I thought it was cool. I thought it was,
I guess I'll do a deep dive in talking about Wanda as the villain now. I really like Wanda as the villain. Because it's
the way how you
so much
twisted
better
his
than
head
how it looked
around.
like it was
Oh
going
my
after
god,
WandaVision.
no, bothered me.
WandaVision was
Also,
like, hey, you just...
between that and
Mindfuck
when
this
she
inside
sliced
out.
Captain Carter in half with the
And I
shield.
said in my WandaVision finale video that they had the best setup for an MCU villain, but I said it because I didn't think they'd do it. And they did it. And I think that's awesome. And that's one of the reasons I like her as the villain. I feel like that's the hill I'm gonna die on, you know? It's just like, no, I like that she slaughtered a lot of people.
And you got respect for it, which is...
I've also seen the argument
Which is
that
weird
takes
in a way.
shine
In
away
a way it's weird.
from Doctor Strange in his own...
You wouldn't think that you would have
Doctor Strange is
some
still
sort of
the
respect,
protagonist.
or in a way you'd
She's
be a
the
little fan
antagonist. I mean, to be fair to
that character. Like
Thanos
I
did
am.
the
Like I'm a
same
fan
thing
of
to
the
the
Scarlet Witch
Avengers
character.
in an Avengers movie. The movie was titled
Evil,
Avengers Infinity
demonic,
War.
and it's
Who's the
pure
coolest character?
badass, and it's just...
Exactly. Thanos.
Off the chain.
Thanos stood out. Thanos stole the show. I love it when villains do that, man. It doesn't happen too often. Usually it's the hero show, and we have this person who's causing problems. But it's really the hero's show. And in a world where the argument...
Yeah, because you were taught to cheer for the heroes and hate the villains.
See how he got there.
It's like in wrestling. In wrestling, when you were a kid, you were taught to cheer for the good guy and hate for the bad guy. The similar way as if we were watching a Marvel studio or if you're watching movies, period, or TV shows. You go for the good guy and you hate the bad guy.
There's definitely a face your mortality story.
It's the way it is.
I mean, if you had a device, a MacGuffin, a person, or otherwise superpower.
To me, I like to sometimes to have it more in between.
Wouldn't you do it? And how far would you go?
Or it doesn't have to be. It's not that. It doesn't always have to be good and bad. It can be both bad or it can be both good, depending on the certain situation.
Pushed over the edge.
Like if it's Marvel. I mean, you know, villains. You can cheer for a villain too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, she goes out basically just pulling a roof down on her head. She breaks the support beams, and this whole temple just... I guess she's dead. I mean, it's a world of magic.
What I think too.
But if we're talking about a villain who was a good person, who then was corrupted by a thing...
Like Dr. Octavius.
And then busted the supports down, causing the super antagonist structure to come down on top of them, killing them in the process. I liked it when it was Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
I suppose I like it when it's Wanda. Funny, because America Fuck Yeah was like, alright, she opens a portal.
Like I said, I hope they bring her back, and I hope they bring her powers back in a way where she can control her powers.
Those are the kids she was
all I'm
gonna,
saying.
you know, mother, I don't know, kill her other self. Point is, she was gonna be the stand-in mom to these kids, and these kids were like, ah, you're a witch. And I've seen the argument, like, why doesn't she just open another portal to another place, and didn't she just, you know, not look so evil and not freak those kids out? But I don't think it was that, you know, it was the fact that her kids looked at her like a monster.
Right.
Got her to internalize and be like, oh shit, I don't fucking.
They showed, Chavez showed her what would have happened
you know that because we all saw it. I mean,
if her kids saw her as the villain. You know what I mean? Which obviously you see that they don't like that. They would have wanted that. That's what Chavez and Doctor Strange was trying to tell.
I guess America Chavez is going to become a wizard now, so she can traverse the multiverse and become a wizard. That's some pretty busted superpower.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, I only react to make these portals. I can't make them happen. I thought Doctor Strange was going to take her up to Mount Everest and be like, trust me, this lesson works. See you later. I mean, that's what I would have done. Funny, I went all this way. I didn't even talk about Zombie Strange, because, like, I mean, yeah, I guess Zombie Strange was in it, so he walks into that.
I thought the Zombie Strange was pretty cool. It was really cool.
Post-credit scene! I missed when it was like, oh, it's Thor's hammer. And that's the post-credit scene. I know what that is. Samuel L. Jackson being like, I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to pull that off, but I do get the reference. This one, Charlize Theron shows up, and I swear, this is my plot. I was like, was she in Eternals?
Yeah.
And even saying it now, I can only tell you I don't think she was. But I definitely know this. Fuck knows if I know who she is. Oh god, those books. Right. So there's a super bad book and a super good book. I guess the super good book will give you anything you need to defeat your enemy. It's like room of requirement in book form, I guess. So I've heard, but we never really saw it. It's like they got this book and it didn't really do anything. It's like the whole fetch quest was all for bullshit. Might be one of those things that's in the 2-hour, 40-minute cut of this movie. Yeah, I guess this movie has a 2-hour, 40-minute cut initially that Raimi had. Which is funny. It's like the BVS effect with Batman vs. Superman. My initial thoughts when I saw the theatrical version of the movie, I was like, that movie could have been shorter. They could have cut some things out. But when things aren't fleshed out, my natural inclination anyways, like, yeah, they should just cut that out, I guess. But on the other hand, the other option is if you have footage and scenes on the cutting room floor that fleshes all that out, yeah, put that in there.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to cut it out, like Batman vs. Superman, the director's cut. It was like 3 hours long. And much better. So I guess there's that. I don't even know if we're ever
going to see it. You wish that the movie could have been a little longer.
Just out of curiosity, I'd like to see it. I just want to see what it was. I mean, it might be much worse. Might be like, oh god, there's a reason this was cut down to 2 hours and, what is it, 6 minutes or something? Look, in the end, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is a
never bothered me.
No,
They
this movie
never
I
did.
enjoyed because of the standout villain that is Scarlet Witch. In a world that's
like I said, maybe they could have put a little bit longer here and there, but I still didn't enjoy it.
Yes, is a scene stealer, dude. I'll take it. So as this is a spoiler video, I couldn't ask you this before. As I leave you now, I'll ask you now. Wanda as the villain, how does that sit with you? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? What do you love about it? What do you hate about it? Whatever you think.
You guys know I love
the Scarlet Witch.
evil Scarlet Witch.
You want to see more? Click right here to see more.
Yeah. So my thing is I know obviously Scarlet Witch, I know she's dead. But I have a good feeling I know that Wanda, she's still alive though. The good Wanda, without her powers. I know she's dead. Somewhere down the line I have an interesting feeling that she's alive in a weird way. Maybe because, you know, I want her back, which I do. I want her back and I want her powers back. Like I said, in a way where she can control her powers. And she can help Doctor Strange. I hope that will happen. Marvel, make it happen. I think the fans will want to see that. I really do. And quite frankly, I think the Marvel fans will want to see both Scarlet Witch, or Wanda in this case, and Doctor Strange fighting together. I think that would have been amazing. Just like the Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War. So Yeah, so I can see that he wanted, he wished the movie could have been a little bit longer. Like I said, to me, it didn't really ruin it for me. Maybe they could have put maybe 10, 20 minutes in there on the movie, but whether they put it longer or didn't, to me, I still enjoyed the movie. You know what I mean? So, I would say I still rate it 4 out of 5 for me. Like, if somebody would have rated 3 out of 5 or 5 out of 5, I wouldn't argue with that. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't. You know, I get it. But, especially if it's 3 out of 5, I'd be like, I get it. I get it. I wouldn't get mad at that. So, because like I said, it had some flaws here and there, and but it was a really good movie. It really was, and yeah, man. So yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda, do you think she's gonna come back or not? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And make sure you guys click on the notification bell so that way you guys can get more upcoming videos in the near future. And if there's any videos you guys want me to do a reaction or do a challenge, you could always just leave it on the comment section down below. And if you have any questions for me, you can either leave it on the comment section as well, or you can email me at greatendzone97@gmail.com. And make sure you go check out Jeremy Johns over there. Jeremy Johns, keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing, sir. And I love how you can dig deep into the movie and stuff like that. You mentioned certain parts that I'd forgotten or I did not know, like the when Sam directed the Spider-Man movie, and how the Scarlet Witch is kind of similar to Dr. Octavius in Spider-Man 2, which it makes sense, and actually that's a great point to mention, because I didn't thought about it until when he said it, and to tell you the truth, it's true. But to me, Scarlet Witch, it was more satanic, more darker than Dr. Octavius, and I get and I do agree that they both. What's funny is that I like how he said it. Like, they both have have their good side and their bad side. Wanda has her good side and bad side. Dr. Octavius had his good and bad side. So hats off to you, Jeremy John. Make sure you guys go check him out. And until next time, folks. Peace out.